Hello, beautiful people. This is Freedom Fighter. Thank you for tuning into our channel, Goldilocks Global Banking News. Everybody knows that Goldilocks is the number one source for the RVGCR. People from around the world tune in to see what Goldilocks is sharing on the RVGCR. Don't miss your chance and get your latest updates every day. So like, share, and subscribe to this channel to get your daily podcast from the Goldilocks articles on the RVGCR. Brought to you by Freedom Fighter.
Hey, hello, beautiful people. This is Freedom Fighter, and welcome to Saturday Night Dialogues. It is June the 14th, 2025. Folks, this is going to be the most impactful call that you have ever heard coming from the Goldilocks team. This is going to be a call that I believe will shift the dynamic within many of you to realize that Goldilocks is the only real source of facts for the RV. We are not going to just say this. We are going to show you tonight. But also what I would like to say is this. Each and every one of you deserve the blessing that you have coming to you regarding this RV. Whether or not you decide to look within yourself and use the God-given ability of discernment to prepare yourself, that is a decision that you're going to have to make tonight. But what I would like to do is I would like to extend, and on behalf of the whole entire Goldilocks team, extend my arms, and we extend our arms out to each and every one of you. No matter what room you come from, what intel provider guru you follow, it doesn't matter. What matters the most is that you yourself, the person that looks in the mirror every day, that has responsibilities for themselves and their families, who have invested in this opportunity, what matters is that you receive the truth and prepare for this blessing. Because each and every one of you, no matter who you are, no matter where you're from, you are loved, you are surrounded and protected by God's angels. And you have the opportunity tonight that I would say many of you have a second chance to prepare for this RV. The clock is ticking. You're going to see tonight. You're going to hear with your own ears and see with your own eyes how the clock is ticking. And the plan for the RV has been leaked. The Goldilocks team, collectively with Goldilocks, Wiley, myself, She-Hulk, and now Peculiar Ram and Mike N, this information has been provided to the Goldilocks team. And we are going to share it with you tonight. Many of you will take it. Some of you will take it. You may twist it. You may edit it. You may change it. I encourage you to look within your soul and do not change anything that you see tonight. For those of you who have rooms, you have followers, I speak to your spirit and ask that you do the right thing with this information that you're going to see tonight. One of those right things is to lead them to the source of where this information is coming from, and it's Goldilocks. I know that's a far stretch for many of you to do, but if there is just one of you who has, if you are a shepherd and you have a flock of people, just imagine the impact you will make. I know a lot of you who may have rooms don't have the wherewithal, the experience, the knowledge that Goldilocks has. And many have tried to duplicate it. And along with the information that Wiley and I share about establishing relationships, we absolutely love each and every one of you, because you all have played a role by God's grace to open the eyes of many people in our land, to let them know about this opportunity. Everyone, no matter what side of the aisle of foo-foo or real or facts, everyone is playing a role. And we love you equally and all the same. We're going to jump into some prayer and get this party started. Father God, we thank you for allowing us to be here in your presence. We thank you for life. We thank you for breath. We thank you for your grace and your mercy upon us. We ask that you allow each and every person tonight, or each and every person that hears this message tonight, that witnesses what we are going to share tonight, will be able, that you speak to their soul, for them to get prepared for this blessing, although many of them may feel as if they already are. But I asked for you, Father God, to speak to their soul and allow us, the Goldilocks team, to be the instrument that they hear tonight. In your precious name, we pray. Amen. All right, let's get into some quick announcements, and we're going to get right into it. Of course, the Goldilocks QFS Dialogues Room. It is from Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is where we break down Goldilocks articles. That is where Wiley, myself, and the tribe share the 8 steps, whereby many of the people that you have heard all over the place daily providing updates on the relationships that they've established with the actual bankers who are preparing them for the RV and also to manage their wealth afterwards. I'm going to say this real quick regarding the Goldilocks QFS Dialogues Room. Also, for anyone that is listening to this, understand and know that you cannot silence or you can't censor Wiley or anyone. Each and every one of us in this room, we are a product of Wiley. Freedom Fighter is a student of Wiley. In the old room, I was really just a nobody, just helping out in the room, in the old room in 2023 in the summer. And it was Wiley that reached out and asked the Freedom Fighter take some more role of responsibility. I was breaking down Goldilocks articles for about 7 or 8 months before I even was blessed to speak to Goldilocks. But Wiley saw something in Freedom Fighter that others did not see. So here in this room, for those that are in the Goldilocks QFS Dialogues room, for anyone that thinks they may have or have the ability to censor Wiley, it's too late. It's too late. All of the bank stories you've heard and will continue to hear, Wiley has already planted those seeds. We are all fruits of his labor. He can't be silenced. And also, you didn't hurt him. You actually did him a favor because he was already in the process of making a transition to bigger and better things related to the RV. You just expedited it. It didn't stop anything. All the bank stories you hear, and you will continue to hear the successes, products of Wiley. The Goldilocks Global Banking News, over 1 million views worldwide, over 70 countries worldwide. Goldilocks and Wiley. It's a result of their efforts. And that's just YouTube. Think about the millions that we can't see, don't know. So we all love and adore Wiley. In fact, he'll be here tonight. Sometime he texted me shortly ago, and he'll be here. He's out with his family. Now, also, let me get to the next, D's room. That's where D drops a lot of articles related to what's happening in the global financial system. The crypto finance room with Dave, Rose Big Dog, anything related to crypto, that's where you go. The Goldilocks Global Banking News podcast, YouTube channel, where we are hunkering down on 1.5, on getting close to 1.5 million views, over 70 countries worldwide. That is where we drop the articles by Goldilocks daily. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit your notifications. You don't want to miss, especially after tonight. You do not want to miss anything that Goldilocks shares daily about the RV. And a real quick house rule, I kind of want to, I guess you call it that. Yesterday, I believe it was, our beloved, amazing member, tribe leader, Glass Half Full, typed a message into the room. And I want to make sure you all understand and know, and we are in agreement. Anytime new people come into the room, folks, please be mindful that we have, when we're having fun, we're having a good time, we're doing what we do in the QFS Dialogues room. Anytime new people come in, let's make sure we pause, we acknowledge them, we show them love, and even do what I love to see that Pistol's mom has done, Glass Half Full does periodically, Brunette Grand as well, they do periodically, is engage with them and say, hey, how you doing? Welcome to the room. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the tribe. How can we help you? How can we prepare you for the RV? So, and many of you do it already. I just want to thank Glass Half Full for being the leader that she is and reminding us how important that is. All right. Now, folks, we have two amazing members that are going to share their bank stories. That's going to blow your mind. And then we're going to get into the one article. It's just one article that is the RV plan that is actually leaked. And the Goldilocks team, Goldilocks, Wiley, She-Hulk, myself, we were fortunate to be given access to this information. And this is a testament, folks, to the spirit and the ability of Goldilocks. And so let's get into, we're going to bring on MB first, then RO. Of course, our beautiful Peculiar Ram will be reading the articles tonight. And we're going to get some help from Mike. And also what we're going to do when we share this leaked article about the RV, we're going to open it up a little later afterwards for if you would like to, we would like for you to share your feedback on what you get from the article. All right, let's get right into it. Let's not tie this up anymore. MB, are you here? I want to say the whole name. MB, I am a man. If you if you're not here yet, we'll go to URO. I see URO, and then when MB comes on, we will come get to him. RO. If you can unmute, my good lady.
Good evening, tribe.
Good evening, wonderful. How you?
I'm doing fantastic.
Good.
I'm excited about tonight.
Let me tell you, Let me tell you, RO. I know you're going to do this anyway, but I encourage you to have a notepad. If you don't have a notepad, I want you to listen intently what you're going to hear tonight, and also what you're going to see, because we're going to share it right into the room. And anyone and everyone listening to this, I encourage you, if you're a person that likes to write this down. If you don't need to, because we're going to show you, it's going to be right in your face what you're going to see. And for those that may not be in a position to write something down or to follow along, because you'll be able to follow along in the article when Peculiar Ram is reading it, but you will be able to hear the plan of the RV and how it's been leaked. So yeah, but RO, folks that don't know RO, this young lady is an amazing leader in the tribe. She has a team of wealth managers. And folks, wealth managers are bankers. So when you hear wealth managers, don't think that that is a separate person from the bankers that are involved, boots on the ground with the RV in the banking system. That's who they are. This young lady, RO, has a team, and she shared an update, a most recent update in the room, and we've asked her to come tonight. RO, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, because last week you had some family stuff going on, and and we got you tonight. So if you can please bring us up to date, young lady. I'm excited for your story.
Well, it's just a little update. I met with my tier one, and just a brief background. She's a senior VP on the private client side.
Okay.
And whenever we met, it was very professional, handshake as a greeting, not much else dialogue after that. We just kept to the topic. But I really enjoy the team. I enjoy her, and they're great people. However, I wanted to keep building my relationship with the team, and she is my point of contact. But this didn't mean that I couldn't reach out to the individual team members.
Okay.
So we decided to meet for lunch last week. And when we met, she greeted me with a hug.
Not a handshake this time. A hug. And it made a difference also that you were not in a business environment, that you were at lunch where she could relax more and open.
Absolutely. So during our conversation, we spoke like friends. We spoke about family, kids, vacation, and future plans. A lot of personal topics. And
yes,
I did bring up Wiley's asset structure and asked if we could do something like that for my plan. And she said, "Oh yeah, I've seen this before with my other clients. Yeah, we could structure something like this for you." So she's taking all these notes in about my inquiries, and she said, "Let me go ask the team, and I'll get back with you." But with our entire conversation, it was just flowing, and she also mentioned in one of our other meetings, she said, "By the way, before you purchase anything, make sure you give me a call because we may have some contacts for you." So for example, she said, "If you're planning to buy a car, we may have a partner to kind of help you out." So, and then she did mention that there were more events to come.
Okay.
Besides the museum. So we had a really nice 2.5 hour lunch.
Wow.
Yeah, and she contacted me a couple of days later, and we set up a meeting for next week to discuss the structure.
Okay. And folks listening to RO, when she's mentioning, because I know a lot of people don't know what RO is talking about. When she talks about her structure, she's already at the point of, with her bankers, talking about her structure of what she will do with the money after she exchanges her currency. How that money will be utilized and how her legal and professional structure will look like in order to secure her wealth for her future. So that's what RO is speaking on when she speaks of her structure. I'm sorry, go ahead. I just wanted to emphasize that because a lot of people have no clue what you mean.
Oh, yeah. So we talked about the Wyoming, and then we kind of moved further on into
the Wyoming Trust.
Correct. So when Wiley put out his other structure, he shared with us with the Trust LLC and the holdings. So that's what I shared with her, and like, "Oh yeah, we've seen that before. We do that."
And folks, what she's referring to is how after she exchanges her funds, how her assets will be protected in the future. Go ahead.
Oh, and that was really mainly the goal with my contact,
Mm-hmm.
the senior VP, was
Okay.
I've heard other tribe members being going out to lunch or outside event, and I wanted to test this. Not that I didn't believe them, but I wanted to test it on my end. And I was
Uh-huh.
like, and after that happened, I was like, oh my gosh. So take those lunch meetings.
Yep. And tell the folks who paid for, tell them who paid for it.
Not me.
It's amazing. Go ahead.
So I'm really enjoying the direction this is going,
Mm-hmm.
and I definitely wanted to look on the other side with the tier one. I'm set with the private wealth manager. We're all set
Mm-hmm.
there. Got the check, debit card, account, everything ready. So
That's right. I forgot. You mentioned that part months ago, folks. You don't realize that RO, she already has her account set up for when she exchanges her funds. That account, she's already gotten her debit card for the account, everything set up for the account. Right, RO?
that is correct.
That's,
So we're ready to go.
beautiful. We're already ready to go. Now, what also I really liked, I loved everything you just said, but how you've met with this wealth manager before in the business environment and professional environment, but this, and when you guys would greet before, she would shake your hand very professionally. but this time at a lunch meeting, 2.5 hours, she greeted you with a hug, and it was more of a time for you to get to know each other more personally.
Right.
And folks, this is the root of what Wiley shares about establishing your relationship. And the relationship is really get to know these people and allow them to get to know you. Although RO is way far down the line, like she just told you, she said she's had her account set up for the exchange funds, the debit card for that account ready for when the funds are there from the exchange and she can move her money, do what she wants to do. Almost 2 months ago, if I remember, she did that. Now she's just continuously establishing her relationships, building on them. And at no time did RO go in there with talking about dinar, RV, none of that language.
Still haven't.
And still haven't. Because RO folks knows that's not their language. That's not the bank's language. She speaks their language. She's been able to take advantage of the wisdom and the knowledge that Goldilocks Wiley shares in the room. Me sometimes a little bit, but go ahead.
No, absolutely. This entire process wouldn't have happened without Goldilocks, Wiley, you, Freedom Fighter, She-Hulk, and the tribe. I mean, we are all the result and the success from, as you said, the fruit of what y'all started. So deep gratitude.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing because we are all fruits of the labor of each other. We are, like I said at the beginning of the call, myself, I'm the fruit of the labor of Wiley. And when he saw something in me in the old room that no one did, and then I was introduced to Goldilocks months later, and then, oh my Lord, once I was blessed with the opportunity to speak to Goldilocks, then my knowledge and understanding of the RV went to a whole nother level. So it's just a blessing that we are all together as a tribe. Wiley, Goldilocks, you, and everyone here. It's just a blessing. We're so proud of you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. You're welcome. And thank you. Thank you for being you in the room, leading people, helping people, reaching back, paying it forward. You don't have to do it, but you do it. And we are so grateful. Grateful for
It's
you.
fun. It's fun. And,
Hmm.
you're right. You have to reach back and
Hmm.
help the next person.
Right.
I'm
And
I'm
folks,
happy to do so.
beautiful people like RO and others are in the room who have been all the way to the point of accounts set up, relationships established with the actual bankers, and they're willing to help you. You have the opportunity. Um, oh, okay, Wally, I see. Are you able to unmute? It looks
Yeah,
like
I'm in
you.
here. I'm
How
here,
you
Freedom.
doing, my good man?
Hey, I'm good. Hey, RO, if I can ask you, because I know you've been set for a little bit, but
Hi, Wiley.
what advice would you give somebody who's just joined us, who has just understanding what a room's about, showing the 8 steps? Advice would you guide them towards as somebody just starting this who just found us?
Um, Learn the steps. Learn the tribe. We're all here to help you. But you need to take this step really soon. um, uh, the tribe is amazing. There are tribe members that are way more ahead of me, and but we're all set in some respect. We're all set to go. I'm set on the tier one side. I'm set with the private wealth firm side. So
Mhm.
we've been through certain things, and we are more than happy to share our experience, um, and um, and just share the success that you, Wiley, and Freedom Fighter, and the whole crew has helped me with. So
Mhm.
take the
And
steps.
and how is your anxiety and knowledge about what you hold and where you're going? How is that abated, and what's that like for you now today versus it was several months ago when we were guiding you towards this?
Mhm.
I don't think I would have really known how to handle this, to even um, confront a wealth manager and have the right language to have a conversation, build a relationship. I didn't know I had built a relationship. I just thought we'd just kind of exchange and we're good. um, but obviously that's not the case. Um,
Mhm.
but I'm floored how I think when we are equipped with language,
Mhm.
they know we are not um, uh, a, a, an advisor of any type. Why would we be going to them, right? So just just the fact that you are actually talking to a wealth manager about large sums or a big blessing, let's just say, that's to
And and
come.
and also the relationship you're building is so important because they know this isn't your lane, but what you're gaining from them and the understanding they're giving you and their ability and what they're able to do is so much more vast than what RO could have done by herself.
Oh,
Mhm.
absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, they know what I do for a living, my career. So
Mhm.
they're very patient with me. I've been
Mhm.
fortunate enough to have very patient wealth managers, and I ask a lot of questions. And
Mhm.
some of the things, Wiley, the things that you bring up to ask the wealth managers or you, Freedom Fighter, is that they're like, "Where did you get this?" uh, so kudos.
Because we're dropping things that are so further down the road that they know you're doing some due diligence and some knowledge of where you want to go. And by dropping some of that, they have an understanding of like, okay, they're doing some homework, they're doing some research, they have a
Mhm.
plan. I understand it. I can do this for you.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, you're
Definitely.
well on track, RO. You've been on track, but good for you to keep growing, keep going, and
Mhm.
just nurturing the relationship because it just gets better. And the stronger the relationship, they have skin in the game because they know you, and people
Right.
treat people differently when they know each other.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have to say that with this senior VP, I really didn't know how to crack her because she was she's somewhat type A, and I appreciate that. But it's like, how do I build a relationship with her? So it took going out to lunch.
Mm.
Hmm. And you get to know more out to lunch because you take them out of their environment and
Mm-hmm.
they have the ability to speak a little more freely. And you're speaking to a friend, but also an associate who's going to help you in the business you're trying to get into with them.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, huge. Way to
Yeah,
go.
that
That's
is.
what it's all about. Just keep building, keep growing, and just
Mm-hmm.
glean all the knowledge you can from these folks as you keep going, because it's invaluable what you're learning from them, and the structuring and how to handle this is all very much part of that process that you're going to need in your toolkit.
Absolutely. Yes. I did take the visual Wiley to her that you put out. And she goes, "Oh yeah, yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, yeah, we could do that."
Nice.
The graph that Wiley shared.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I got some friends
Beautiful.
that are more visual, and if I draw it out or show it to them, they understand it far clearer than me explaining it.
Mm-hmm.
I can get out over my skis explaining it, and I skip things because I've done it so much. And I'm not a wealth
Mm-hmm.
advisor by any means. I've just done it, and I've been through the process you're going through. And you are going to get very fluent in this, like learning a second language. You'll speak it, you breathe it, and you'll know it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. I'm looking forward to it.
Beautiful. Congratulations, our wonderful lady.
Well, thank
Congratulations.
you.
We're so proud of you.
Thank
And
you.
you're such a great example for others as well. But it's amazing. It's if you can real quick before we move on, if you can give the titles so that people have an idea that the titles of some of the people that you that are on your team that you've met with and that are in your structure, and then we'll let you go. But this is
Yeah.
important.
Yeah, absolutely. They're senior VP on the client side. That's
Mhm.
my main contact. I have
Mhm.
VP. He's more like a CPA, but he has um, a, a law degree. I have a
Mhm.
portfolio manager. He has a law degree. I have another gentleman. He is in the trust. I forget his specific title, but on a VP level.
Mhm.
And that's on the tier one side. On the private manager, wealth manager side, he is principal, and he is also, oh my gosh, I forgot. There's a specific title
Mhm.
that he has that
Mhm.
is way beyond anything that I've seen. This took
Okay.
hours and hours of degree to take.
Okay.
Studying to get,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
it's a specific title. But he is a
Mhm.
principal at a um, private
A
wealth firm.
private firm. It's beautiful. I love it because I'm glad that you shared all of these titles, folks, because what RO has is a team of professionals, experienced professionals that all have different skill sets, and their sole responsibility is to help her achieve her financial goals from the money that she receives from the currency exchange. That's their job. Just imagine each and every one of you having a team of experienced professionals that can take your, let's say if it's 50 million, and they can flip it to 100. If it's 100, they can flip it to 150, so forth and so on. You're going to need a team of professionals that can help you with the wealth that you are coming into. I know a lot of you are thinking, "Oh, I'll just become a billionaire, trillionaire, go to the bank and just exchange and live happy, live after." Okay, so
Think
congratulations.
look
Yeah,
at she being all kinds of modest, and she got the whole team right there that they're wanting. She's got her tax
right,
strategist, she has a wealth
right,
strategist, she has a CPA
right.
for the trust. She
Yeah,
got the whole team.
yeah. And she, I'm not sure if you were on the part where she talked about they went over the Wyoming trust that you shared in the room, Wiley.
I missed that, but good for you. I mean,
Yeah.
but by you talking about this stuff and you kind of letting them know that you've looked at some of this, they know that you are a hands-on type in your business, and you're going to continue to be that hands-on, and they're going to
Hmm.
continue to let you steer the ship and let you be the captain with their guidance.
Right.
Yes,
That's right.
absolutely.
Beautiful.
Oh, on the private wealth firm,
Mhm.
CFP.
Okay. Certified financial planner.
Yeah, and a
That
CFA, CPA, PFSA, PFS.
okay.
Those are all his
Okay.
titles.
All those, all his ones. Oh
Yep.
wow, he's heavy. I thought you were naming different people with
No,
different
no,
titles. He has
no.
all those. Oh wow. So
That's one
wow.
person. That's
So
my
that wow.
uh, private uh, wealth
Wow.
manager.
Yeah.
She's got
That
the
dude
whole
that
baseball team with people sitting on the bench in the dugout waiting to come in and play.
right. Exactly. Well, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So excited for you. Just wow. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Folks, you hear this. This can be you. But RO, just don't think that she just took stuff out of the room and just sent it to these bankers. RO, she applied herself. She's busy like everyone else, but she read, she researched, she asked us questions, she prepared herself. So she's not just sending these folks information and just expecting them to just roll out the red carpet for her.
Hey, I know we got other ones to get to and other things to get to, but RO, one question.
Mm-hmm.
How many visits have you been at the bank getting the structured conversations talking? It's been more than a half a dozen at least to get this far, has it not?
Um, Probably about six on the private wealth
Yeah.
and about four, four on the tier one.
Mm,
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
folks, this all takes time. This does not happen in
exactly.
one hour meeting. This does not happen
Yeah.
in one 15-minute. Hey, I got some money. I need you to convert. I need you to do some things. These
Right.
take time to build the
Mm-hmm.
relationship, to build the structure, to build out a rapport so they understand where you want to go. They're not mind
Absolutely.
Right.
readers.
Yes.
Right.
And our
Yeah,
meetings
Exactly.
have been like 2 hours,
yeah.
Mm, that's
2 hours
phenomenal.
plus.
Phenomenal. Phenomenal. Thank you, beloved, for sharing.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you
ma'am. And
so
thank you
much.
again. Again, I can't let you go without thanking you even more again for the love that you share in the room and helping other people. We appreciate you.
Oh, I appreciate all of you guys, definitely.
Yes, yes, indeed, beloved. Hold on tight and get ready because we're gonna get on into we
Yes,
got
sir.
yeah,
I'm ready.
we're gonna get the MB and then we're gonna get to this leak on the RV that's out there. All
Okay.
right.
Thank you.
MB, you're welcome. Thank you. MB, you can. I saw you, then you disappeared, then you came, then you reappeared. MB, if you can raise your hand. I don't know if you're having technical difficulties because you were going in and out. And if you are out instead of in, we are going to proceed. Because if you're having some phone issues or whatnot, if you start sharing your update, you may not be able to finish. And so, okay, MB, I'm gonna give you one more swing. MB, raise your hand so I can find you. There's a lot of people in the room, and if I don't see you in like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, all right. MB, whenever you come on, we will reschedule you. Because you're right.
Oh, hello.
Hello, young lady. How you doing? How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. What I would like to do, folks. What I would like to do before we get into this article that actually leaks the plan of the RV, what I would like for each one of you to do is take a deep breath. If you can inhale and exhale, I want you to calm your nerves, calm yourselves, ground yourselves if you can, because what you are about to see and what you are about to hear is going to change change your life more so than it already has been. Of course, not as much as when the RV happens changed, but you are going to see in writing the actual plan for the RV. So ground yourselves, prepare yourselves emotionally, ask God to give you peace, because you're going to need it, because this is going to, some of this, what you're about to see is going to excite every last one of you. But it's also at the same time going to shake the spirit of some of you because of some of the things that you've heard so far in Dinar land. You're going to begin to question. You're going to begin to question. And that's okay. It's a part of growth. It's a part of your evolution and your spiritual growth to prepare for the RV. So it is okay to question yourselves, to question others, and to ask God to give you discernment and to seek and find the truth. Now, I want to ask, before we get into this, I want to ask each and every one of you a question. Think of whoever you love, whoever you're the closest to, whoever you desire to help with this money that you're going to get from this exchange, whoever that person or whoever those people are. It could be your humanitarian, it could be your spouse, family, pets, whatever. I want you to think of who do you love and who you want to help. I want you to answer this question. If that person asked you, how does the RV happen? What will your answer be? Don't answer peculiar. I know you know. What will your answer be? I want you to think about this. I want this quick exercise and we're going to get into this. But seriously, if this voice that you hear right now asked you, mother, father, uncle, sister, sibling, friend, tell me, how does the RV happen? What's your answer? Whatever your answer to that question is of how the RV happens, folks, I guarantee you at least 1% on this call who has followed Goldilocks knows the answer. The leak that you're about to witness, the answer is there. How the RV happens. Many of you have been hearing all these dates and when the RV is going to happen, when it was supposed to happen, and then there was delays. You're going to see the how. That's important. And if you were to answer someone that asked you how the RV happens, and you don't know the answer, and this is not judgment. If you don't know, this is your chance tonight to find out. This is the opportunity that God is giving you to make a shift before this RV comes. You do not, and you're going to see tonight, you don't have much time. You don't have much time. Real quick, I saw you, MB. I'm going to come to you real quick. MB, if you can unmute. Are you having technical difficulties? MB? MB, you can unmute.
You might be having technical.
Yeah, you're on the road, MB? Okay, yeah, we're gonna skip MB, and so we're gonna go right into this article. So, folks, just know that this is all from love that is coming from Goldilocks team. This is your second chance tonight. This is your last chance tonight. from what you're about to witness. Okay. Now, before we get into the article, we're going to take a quick step back. Peculiar Rand, are you ready?
I am. Are you
Okay.
ready?
Oh, you already know. Before we get into the actual article, I'm gonna drop something into the room that I want to share real quick that actually prepares us for the article, because this is what Goldilocks has been preparing us. I'm gonna read this real quick. It says, the ships are still out at sea. Prices on these cargo supplies continue to escalate, and money velocity is grinding down to a halt. A market cannot function. This is by Goldilocks, folks. A market cannot function on simply stimulating it with more and more monopoly money, causing the one thing that got us to where we are now: lowering tariffs and interest rates allows more movement in goods shipped abroad. And real values come from equitable distribution at fair exchange rates. Peculiar Rand, what is the date of this article by Goldilocks?
October 8th, 2021.
Almost 4 years ago. And at the bottom left, you'll see over 309 times in the last 5 years, Goldilocks has talked about tariffs, posted on tariffs. Okay, now the next one I'm going to read. These shifts were influenced by deferral on trade tariff implementation, which boosted risk appetite, as evidenced by the state risk appetite index rising. What I wanted to show you here was how many times Goldilocks mentioned trade related to tariffs, trade, going back to 2021, was 4 years. How many times, Peculiar Ram, has Goldilocks posted about trade?
3,507 times.
Over 3,500 times Goldilocks has posted about trade in the last 5 years. This is why Goldilocks has always said, when it comes to the RV, we must watch the water. Why? Because it is on the water through trade that foreign currencies will move. Trade. Okay? I want you to think about that. Remember that. What I would like now, before we get into the article, there's a very important person, ladies and gentlemen, that is involved at the highest level behind the scenes. Involved with the RV. Mike N., are you here? I think I saw you. Oh, fact. Oh, you know what? There you go. I see you. You can unmute, my good man.
Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you. Yesterday, I shared. Oh, you back with the birds again outside? Yesterday.
Let me tell you.
For those of
you,
I see. For those of you who don't know Mike N., one of our beloved members, we call him Sniper. He's a sniper. He shared he's a great leader in the room. This man breaks down. He knows Goldilocks articles left and right. I think he's quietly on Goldilocks team. He just don't want me to know it. But this man does extreme great research, and when he reads these articles in the room, he knows he's up 2-3 o'clock in the morning reading Goldilocks. So just so you know, this is the young man last Saturday on the call who shared that he communicates with his wealth manager every day. And as a matter of fact, him and his wealth manager have had direct conversations about, and this is because the relationship he's established, just like RO, this young man has had these open conversations with his wealth manager about currency exchanges. Am I right or wrong?
Yes, sir.
All right. So now, I asked Mike yesterday to Google a certain person. And the name of this person, folks, you're going to see in the article. This person is a part. What would you say, Mike, and this person's role is related to the RV based on what you've seen?
He's first in command.
The first in command.
So it starts and ends with him. He's the one that's negotiating. He's boots on the ground is what you really want to call it.
Yep. And now this person we're going to share with you, and this is before we're going to get into the. You're going to see this person's name, folks, in the article we're going to share. But what I want Mike to do is to read you what this person's title was. Even though someone else has taken over for him, I want you to read the name of this title, Mike. And if you don't mind, I'm going to drop it into the room, folks, so you all can see it for yourself. As Lady Unique says, we're going to show you the receipts. We're going to show you the receipts. Mike, and you did your research, your homework on this person after you read the article yourself. Yeah, yesterday. I shared this with Mike and Peculiar Ram. I think they're both still on cloud 20, but so if you can read to the folks who this person, his name, title, so do that. Please do that, sir.
Absolutely. His name is Robert Lighthizer. He's an attorney and former United States Trade Representative. The overview form.
Robert, the overview. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Robert Emmett Lighthizer is an American attorney and government official who was the U.S. Trade Representative in the Trump administration.
What was his title?
United States Trade Representative.
Okay.
And the Trump administration from 2017 to 2021. After he graduated from, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. Go ahead. Continue. You continue.
Yep. After he graduated from Georgetown University Law Center in 1973, Lighthizer joined the firm of Covington and Burling in Washington, D.C.
Boom. Thank you. He was the United States Trade Representative. How many times did Goldilocks mention trade? Over 3,500 times, 3,500 times, folks. Now, folks, we're going to get into this article. Remember this name, Robert Lighthizer. Thanks, Mike. And Mike, we're going to come to you afterwards. We want your breakdown and your summary of this article. Appreciate it. We're going to get into this article. And what I would like to, I want to emphasize, I want to give you some context. This article is from April of last year. When Peculiar Ram is reading this article, folks, you must remember this. This is very important. Not only remember the name Robert Lighthizer, remember the date of when this article was written. It was April of last year. Also, this article is from a global reporting agency that the name you're all going to be very familiar with, left-leaning liberal, though. And this article was written last year as if they were attempting, Peculiar Ram, you tell it. What were they attempting to do with this article when they wrote this article?
To be a hater.
Against who?
Against Trump and his administration.
Yes. And when they wrote this article, they thought they were attacking Trump. But in the article, they leak. What do they leak? The plan for the RV.
The how. Mm-hmm.
The how. The how. Good. Thank you. See, folks, this ain't scripted. She corrected me. The how. Because you read the article yesterday. It explains how the RV is going to happen. or should I say, how the RV is happening.
It is happening. Yes.
All right. So, another thing. I know you guys want me to get to it, but folks, when you see this information on all the channels out there, all over Dinar land, just understand and know where you got it from. Goldilocks. Understand and know, as much as someone may try to twist what you're about to hear or what you're about to see, there's no refuting what Goldilocks has been telling all of us for the last 5 years. But the beautiful thing is that this leak confirms how the RV is happening. Let's go. All right. Let's not belabor the moment. And I know y'all like, damn, Freedom, shut up and get to the article.
Ready?
All right. Yes, I'm going to pull it up right. Sure. I'm going to pull it up. And for those that want to follow, you may have to pull this up in Google, the Google browser, because I noticed other browsers, it was kind of funky, and it wouldn't pop up unless you had a paid subscription for it. Okay, here we go. This is the article, and what I'm going to do, we're going to open this up. Peculiar RAM, just like you and I did. Let's just be ourselves. So, this is from Politico, ladies and gentlemen, which is a global news outlet, and it's going to mention names. It's going to just several things. It's going to mention. Well, let's just get into it. What's the second red top left of this? So, folks, for these news outlets, you have business section, you have health section, you have science, and you have trade. What section of this article is this article coming from?
Trade.
What'd you say?
Trade.
You mean like the U.S. trade representative that Mike N just talked about in 3,500 times that Goldilocks mentioned trade over the last 5 years? Trade. Okay, let's go. What's the headline of this article?
Trump trade advisors plot dollar devaluation.
Trump trade advisors plot dollar devaluation. What is the date of this article?
April 15th, 2024.
This is very important, folks. You must remember this. This is a long article. This is the only article we're going to talk about tonight because it's the only one we need to. Because this is the leak of the RV right here. Now let's go right into it. Advisors close to the former president. Go.
Advisors close to the former president, particularly his former trade chief, Robert Lighthizer, are considering policies that would weaken the dollar relative to other currencies, which could juice U.S. exports, but also fuel inflation.
Folks, many of you have been paying attention to what Goldilocks has been saying for quite some time, that as the dollar gets weaker, the other foreign currencies begin to move and get stronger. Why? Because in trade, as these countries move away from utilizing the U.S. dollar in their trade, meaning trade, just so if you don't know, I don't want to assume you know, trade meaning importing and exporting, countries import and export goods. For example, the World Trade Organization, where you have 130 plus countries that trade goods and services with each other. They ship on the water through ports their goods and their services. That's trade. Billions transacted every single day. The whole premise of the trade negotiations, the tariff negotiations right now is exactly what this is talking about. Go ahead, young lady. Economic advisors.
Economic advisors close to former President Donald Trump are actively debating ways to devalue the U.S. dollar if he's elected to a second term.
Wait. He's not even the president last April. They was talking about impeaching him. And this article is talking about what if he were to come back as president, that they were going to do something with trade and devaluing the dollar. What's happening right now? Think about it. Go ahead. A dramatic move
that could boost U.S. exports, but also reignite inflation and threaten the dollar's position as the world's dominant currency.
Continue.
The idea is being discussed by former trade chief Robert Lighthizer, a potential Treasury Secretary pick for Trump and the architect of the former president's bruising tariff campaign against China, and policy advisors allied with him, according to 3 former Trump administration officials granted anonymity to discuss confidential policy plans.
So there are people inside Trump's administration that are leaking and sharing information with this news outlet on condition of anonymity to keep their identity secret, but they're sharing inside information, purposely devaluing. Continue.
Purposely devaluing the US dollar by pressing other countries to alter their own currency values would represent the most aggressive proposal yet in Trump's attempt to reshape global trade.
And he's right now reshaping global trade through tariffs. This article speaks about that. Next sentence. Go ahead, young lady.
The potential moves would go beyond the tariffs of Trump's first term and the expansive industrial subsidies for clean energy enacted by President Joe Biden. A weaker dollar would make U.S. exports cheaper on the world market and potentially reduce the U.S.'s yawning trade deficit.
Trade deficit, trade, tariffs. This is April of last year. Now the next paragraph is the absolute in your face. What is happening? The leak is right here of the RV. And this is a quote. Go ahead, young lady. What I would like for you to do, Peculiar Ram, read this all the way to the word approach. And then we're going to come back and read it again, because some people are not going to it's going to go over their head when they read this the first time, like it did you. And you had to go back and read it again. Like, hold on, what did I just read? What the world? Go ahead. This is a quote.
Quote unquote, currency revaluation is likely to be a priority for some members of a potential second Trump administration, mainly because of the viewpoint that an overvalued dollar contributes to the trade deficit, said one former Trump administrative official, adding that Lighthizer and his team are the primary advocates for the approach.
Robert Lighthizer, the trade representative. Now, I think folks may not have heard what you said. I'm going to read it, then I want you to read it again. I want you to read after me once I finish. Quote, currency revaluation is likely to be a priority for some members of a potential second Trump administration. Folks, this article was written in April of last year. Trump wasn't even the president. And it's talking about what was going to happen if he were to return as the president. What was it that they are saying would happen when Trump returns as the president? Quote, currency revaluation is likely to be a priority for some members of a potential second Trump administration, mainly because of the viewpoint that an overvalued dollar contributes to the trade deficit, said one former Trump administration official, adding that Lighthizer, as his team, are the primary advocates for the approach. Lighthizer and Trump weren't even in the White House in April of last year. But they are now talking about April, about a currency revaluation as a result of the trade deficit and tariffs. And we have Goldilocks that has shared over the last 5 years over 3,500 times that the RV, the currency revaluation, happens from trade. Over 360 times Goldilocks shared in the last 5 years about tariffs. Folks, it gets even better from here. It's right in your face. If you could read it one more time and have some spunk in your trunk this time, Peculiar Ram, go ahead and read this again, please.
Currency revaluation is likely to be a priority for some members of a potential second Trump administration, mainly because of the
What is likely to be a priority? What is likely to be a priority for some of the members?
Go ahead. I got too excited.
What is like to be a priority of a second Trump administration?
Currency revaluation.
Are we not in the second term of Trump's administration?
We are.
And what remind me and everybody else to the back of the pew in the church, back where the kids play, what is likely to be a priority for the second term of Trump's administration?
Currency revaluation, aka an RV.
Folks, it gets even better. This is the first but not the last time currency revaluation is mentioned in this article about tariffs, trade, and Trump. It gets even better. As a matter of fact, you should be thinking to yourself right now when it comes to tariffs, when it comes to trade, are we not in the midst of the negotiations of the United States negotiating tariffs with over 80 countries every single day, every single week for the last several months? Goldilocks has been giving us the updates on the trade negotiations. There's a 90-day pause on the massive trade tariffs that are imposed on all these countries that Trump put on them. And we see that currencies, right, that the US dollar is getting weaker and weaker. That's the devaluing of the dollar. Why? So that these currencies can begin to move in value in the open market, because these countries will begin to utilize their own currencies in trade instead of utilizing the US dollar. Being that these countries utilize the US dollar for so long over the last 50, 60 years, it's allowed the US dollar to be the big boy on campus and to remain strong. Therefore, their currencies staying weak. That has changed. Now, continue, young lady, the potential policy.
Let me see.
I'm sorry, but weakening the dollar.
Okay. But weakening the dollar could have other far-reaching consequences, from sending consumer prices for imported products soaring to inviting retaliation from other countries and threatening the dollar's role as the world reserve currency, which would undermine U.S. sanctions on adversaries like Iran and Russia.
See, think about it, folks. Again, this article, left-leaning, liberal outlet, they're trying to make it appear as if it's such a bad thing that Trump is going to devalue the dollar.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta know this, folks. These outlets, these mainstream media, it's no coincidence that they put things that they put out to put fear in the people. But I know one thing. For those of you who hold currency right now, you hope the U.S. dollar continues to devalue, because you should have an understanding what will happen to the currencies that you hold. Go ahead, continue, please, young lady.
The potential policy shift during a second Trump term could further fragment the global economy.
Oh, here comes the doom and gloom. Oh, my God. If Trump does this his second term, it's going to damage the whole economy. This is so that people don't pay attention, folks. This is to instill fear in the people so that they don't invest in foreign currencies.
Smoke and mirrors.
Smoke and mirrors. Just imagine if people knew. They figured, if I have dinar, dong, all these other currencies, the U.S. dollar goes down and these other currencies go up. What? The Trump administration talking about the RV? Talking about currency revaluation? And the other what? People would be went out to buy currency in droves. You think that you got currency? They will sell out. They'll sell out those No, never mind. Go ahead. Go ahead. Continue.
Pallets on pallets on pallets.
Go ahead.
Okay. I'm gonna start at the beginning. At the beginning of it. The potential policy shift during a second Trump term could further fragment the global economy, a post-pandemic trend top finance officials are already grappling with as they gather in Washington this week for the yearly spring meetings of the International Monetary Fund and World Bank.
The two most powerful global financial agencies that are over the RV, International Monetary Fund and the World Bank. This was last April, and they're talking about Trump's team was meeting with the IMF and the World Bank when Trump wasn't even a president last year this time.
That's wild. Still crazy.
They've been planning this. Well, it's been planned for years, for decades, but
Yes.
we're now seeing it come to fruition. This is all about tariffs and trade. What are we in the midst of right now? Trade negotiations around tariffs. And it tells you currency revaluation is the priority of the second Trump administration. Please go ahead and continue.
Each of the former officials stressed that all of the nuances of the currency policies are not yet worked out. Are not worked out yet. I'm sorry, and could shift before or after the election.
Pause.
Um,
Hold 1 second, beloved. Each of the former officials stressed. So, folks, remember, this is last April. Trump is not in the office. His Lighthizer is not in the office. His inner circle is not in the office. That's why they're calling them each of the former officials. This is last April. Stressed that all the nuances of the currency policies are not yet worked out and could shift before or after the election. What were they expecting when Trump, or if Trump was to be reelected? They were expecting a currency revaluation because Trump was going to impose these tariffs. Go ahead, you can continue. Among other things.
Among other things, Lighthizer is considering ways to weaken the dollar unilaterally or through negotiations with foreign nations using the threat of tariffs, the former official said.
What in the world? This is last April, and what in the world have we been witnessing right now?
The threat of tariffs.
The threat of tariffs and negotiations. You saw China run, Vietnam run to the United States, China, all these countries, the UK. No, Mr. Trump, don't hit us with these tariffs. We'll negotiate, please. Let us. This just happened last month. But this article's from last April and saying what will happen if Trump was reelected. And what is happening? Exactly this. Negotiations. Weakening of the dollar. All around currency policies. Go ahead, continue. Lighthizer, one of the few cabinet members. Go ahead. Oh, this is a funny paragraph. They make it seem, oh, he survived the Trump cabinet. Go ahead.
Lighthizer, one of the few cabinet members to survive Trump's first full term, retains significant influence on the former president's trade and economic policies from his post as the trade chief at the America First Policy Institute, a think tank set up to devise policies for a second Trump administration.
Lighthizer retains significant influence on the former president's trade and economic policies. So he holds significant influence in the Trump administration regarding the RV. What did Mike N just tell you? He's the chief
on the ground.
Yeah, I forget his exact words. Go ahead. But such efforts.
Yes.
But such efforts would face stiff.
But such efforts would face stiff opposition from Wall Street and its supporters in Washington because a weaker dollar could make assets based on the currency less valuable. Should Trump tap one of the finance executives he's also considering to lead the Treasury Department, it's much less likely he would pursue currency devaluation.
Remember, this was last year, April. It's saying that he would it's less likely he would pursue currency devaluation. What's happening right now? The devaluation of the U.S. dollar so that the other currencies can revalue. Go ahead, young lady. This would only happen. Oh, this is funny. Go ahead.
This would only happen if Bob Lighthizer was the Treasury Secretary, a second former Trump administration economic official said.
So basically what it's saying is that the currency revaluation will only happen if Robert Lighthizer will become the Treasury Secretary in the second Trump administration. Well, he's not the Treasury Secretary right now, but it's happening anyway.
Yeah, sure is.
Go ahead.
Trump's first administration dabbled in currency policy back in 2019 by taking the rare step of designating China a currency manipulator, meaning it was unfairly devaluing its currency, the yuan, to make its exports cheaper and to gain an advantage in global trade. But that designation took place after Trump had already imposed tariffs on the Chinese economy. And his White House never went further to address the currency imbalance with policies like the ones that Lighthizer is considering today. Biden
Huh.
did not go
Like,
ahead.
hold on a second, but the ones that Lighthizer is considering today. This is last April. He's not even in the office.
What are they talking about?
Because they're talking about what's happening behind the scenes without the public even knowing about it.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Biden did not renew China's designation as a currency manipulator when he took office. The former president's allies in Congress say they would not be surprised if a new Trump administration, particularly with Lighthizer in a position of influence, tried to do more.
You see how powerful this Lighthizer is?
Yes.
But the thing is, he's not even the trade representative right now. It's Jameson Greer who took over. And Jameson Greer is the one that was meeting with Vietnam last week, the week before. He's the U.S. trade representative now. And also, he's leading negotiations for all the other countries. He's the new U.S. trade representative. He just took over from Lighthizer. Go ahead.
The perspective that I know Lighthizer brings is that when countries like China manipulate their currency, we should address that, said Senator Bill Hagerty, who was ambassador to Japan under Trump and worked closely with Lighthizer. That sort of inherent unfairness is what Bob was constantly talking about, and I respect his position. Lighthizer declined to comment, and the Trump campaign didn't respond to a request for comment. But the former trade advisor endorses the idea of dollar devaluation in his 2023 book, No Trade is Free, writing that it is clear that the dollar is well overvalued and that the U.S. could make a number of moves to correct that imbalance.
Oh, when we continue down, folks, you're going to see exactly what Trump did to tilt the scale for the RV to begin to move. From what we just read here, you'll see what I'm talking about. Go ahead. Now, also, Lighthizer wrote a book about pretty much the RV. Go ahead. Lighthizer frequently.
Lighthizer frequently brought up currency devaluation during Trump's first term, said one former administration official with knowledge of the discussions, as did Trump economic advisor Peter Navarro. But they faced opposition from Wall Street-aligned officials like Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin and former National Economic Council Chair Gary Cohn, and the idea never got off the ground. Trump even reportedly squashed a dollar devaluation proposal from Navarro during a White House meeting, Politico reported 2019.
Continue.
Lighthizer brought that up all the time because he felt like tariffs weren't enough to achieve the objective of rebalancing trade with the rest of the world, said one of the former Trump administration officials.
Mnuchin didn't want to do it. I'm gonna read that again. Lighthizer, the former trade representative, folks, brought that up and all the time because he felt like tariffs weren't enough to achieve the objective of rebalancing trade with the rest of the world. Folks, balancing trade with the rest of the world is what's happening right now. These negotiations that Trump is in the midst of with all these countries right now is to balance trade because there's been an imbalance of trade, like Vietnam last year, 123 billion in a surplus in trade with the U.S. The U.S. 123 billion in a deficit with Vietnam. That's imbalanced. Go ahead, you continue. Mnuchin is not
alone. Wall Street banks and large U.S. retailers would also oppose efforts to weaken the U.S. dollar, arguing it would hurt U.S. consumers and drive up already problematic inflation.
Wait a minute. Dollars. See, folks, this is last April. They're saying doom and gloom if this were to happen, if Trump comes back to office, and it's happening right now. The weakening of the dollar. Go ahead.
Other corporate actors worry about the ripple effects if the U.S. government moves into currency markets aggressively, concerned it could spark a global trade conflict.
Ooh, I gotta read that. I gotta read that. I gotta read that. Other courts, see, now, folks, it's trying to give the doom and gloom more to put fear into people so that people don't even look at currencies and invest. This tells you other corporate actors worry about the ripple effects if the U.S. government moves into currency markets aggressively. Concerned it could spark a global trade conflict. What's going on right now? A global trade conflict. What are tariffs? Global trade conflict. You're about to see that is all by design. Go ahead, young lady.
The ultimate effects of an orderly and durable devaluation of the dollar would be uncertain for American business, said Jake Colvin, a president of the National Foreign Trade Council, which represents dozens of the largest U.S. companies. But, he added, there is an additional risk that pursuit of a weak dollar could spark a number of unintended consequences, including inflationary global currency and trade wars.
Oh my God, this would be so debilitating if there would be a trade war in the global currency. What they're saying is, if anyone's reading this, please don't invest in no foreign currencies. You're gonna be wealthy if Trump come back in office and does this. Go ahead. National security
hawks also worry that weakening the dollar could take the bite out of the U.S. sanctions on foreign countries like Russia and Iran. Those sanctions rely on the dollar's use as a dominant currency in world trade and finance. If the dollar was devalued enough to make other nations switch to using another currency in international transactions, the U.S. Treasury would no longer have the ability to freeze those assets as it has done with officials in adversarial nations.
Whoa. If the dollar was devalued enough to make other nations switch to using another currency like their own in international transactions, the U.S. Treasury would no longer have the ability to freeze basically it's saying the U.S. Treasury will no longer have the ability to impose sanctions on other countries because they're not using they won't be utilizing the U.S. dollar. The U.S. government wouldn't be able to use the U.S. dollar as leverage if Vietnam is using their own currency, if Iraq is using their own currency, if Venezuela and these other countries are using their own currency in trade. The U.S. has leverage over these countries by these countries continuously utilizing the U.S. dollar. But what they've done, these countries have gotten rich off of our backs.
Yes.
$123 billion in a profit, a surplus for Vietnam last year, $123 billion in deficit, a loss for us. Just think about all these other countries that have been doing that to the U.S. because the U.S. government officials sold the U.S. out to the world. And now they were afraid that Trump would come back and flip the script on them through trade, through these tariff negotiations. That's exactly what he's doing right now. Go ahead, young lady. Continue, please.
Sanction effectiveness depends on the U.S. having a world reserve currency, said the first former Trump administration official. And so I think there's a clear tension between the two objectives. One, of reducing the trade deficit, and two, of ensuring that there's sanctions effectiveness.
They're rocking the hard place trying to figure that out. Go ahead, young. Go ahead.
In theory, dollar devaluation could happen through multiple avenues. Okay. Let me start it off. In theory, dollar devaluation could happen through multiple avenues. Lighthizer ideal situation, as outlined in his 2023 book. is to try to strike a grand bargain with foreign governments on currency, similar to the Plaza Accord struck by the Reagan administration in 1985 that weakened the dollar relative to the Japanese yen and European currencies.
Mm-hmm.
It's very clear that such a pact will be an objective of folks like Lighthizer
Mm-hmm.
if they retake the White House.
If they retake the White House.
Yeah.
This is last April, so now they're saying, "Oh my God! If these folks get back in the White House, Lighthizer, Trump, they're gonna revalue. They're gonna devalue the U.S. dollar and allow these countries to revalue their currencies."
Wow!
They didn't want it to happen. They knew that the way it would happen and could happen is through tariffs. Why tariffs on the world? And what's happening right now? You already know. It's right in the public domain. You see it on all your news channels, that tariffs, negotiations right now, and that's been going on. Continue, young lady.
When the Plaza Accords were negotiated in the 1980s, the implicit threat of tariffs from the U.S. government, then pushed by Democratic members of Congress, helped push foreign governments to renegotiate their exchange rates.
And help foreign governments to do what?
Renegotiate their exchange rates.
So this Plaza Accords from the 1980s, they're likening Trump's tariff negotiations to be the same thing or similar to the Plaza Accords. You're about to find out how Trump pushed it, made this happen. Let's make it. Go ahead, young lady. I'm just shut up. You go ahead.
World governments should expect the tariff threat to be more explicit if Lighthizer is empowered in a future Trump administration, said the former officials with knowledge of the plans, noting that Lighthizer endorses the idea in his book, saying that it's hard to believe other nations would have agreed to the Plaza Accord if they had not been concerned about the possibility that Congress would raise tariffs. The administration could even impose tariffs preemptively and then offer currency negotiations as a way to get the duties reduced, the former officials added.
I'm going to read that again. Now, folks, now it's telling you. You remember, again, I got to remind you, this is last April. They're saying if the Trump administration could even impose tariffs preemptively, meaning a preemptive strike, and just do it, it says the administration this is how they could do it. The Trump administration could even impose tariffs preemptively and then offer currency negotiations as a way to get the tariff duties reduced. So what it's saying is that the Trump administration had the option to just impose blanket tariffs across the world, and it would force countries to come to the table to negotiate currency rates, and currency policies. I want to make sure I make that right. Currency policies, not negotiate currency rates, the currency policies. Go ahead. Short of multilateral agreement.
Short of a multilateral agreement, the Trump administration could use the threat of tariffs to force individual countries, especially China, to the table for bilateral currency negotiations, said the former officials.
Now. The Trump administration could use the threat of tariffs to force individual countries, especially like China, to come to the table. What just happened about a month and a half ago? Just that. Trump imposed these tariffs and forced all these countries to come to the table to do what? Negotiate. Go ahead, young lady. The Trump administration could also.
What? Oh, okay. Hold on. It's one little piece left.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. One legal tool that's been floated is Section 122 of the Trade Act of 1974, which authorizes tariffs of up to 15% against countries that have large and serious trade surpluses with the U.S.
Vietnam? China? All these other countries that they all have these large trade surpluses. Trump has had multiple ways to do this. This is just another one that he could, but he didn't. He just slapped tariffs. Oh, this next paragraph is gone. This is All this is prophetic, like Kuya Ram said yesterday. This next paragraph, you're going to see again. This was written in April. Watch how prophetic this was. Go ahead. Oh, I can't
This
wait. Go ahead.
tripped me up,
This
boy. This one
this
tripped me up.
this is what we're going to get into numbers, percentages. Go ahead.
The Trump administration could also impose across-the-board tariffs on imports, making them more expensive for U.S. consumers, the former official said. Trump is considering a 10% universal import tariff, the former administration official said. And one result of that policy could be to make the dollar weaker relative to other currencies.
Because as the dollar gets weaker, the other currencies that we all hold get stronger. It's saying Trump is considering, folks, this is April of last year. Wasn't he supposed to be impeached?
Right.
They were trying to go after him. They didn't want him to run for president. This is April. Trump is considering a 10% universal import tariff, the former administration official said. And what is happening right now? Through when Trump imposed the tariffs on all these countries, 150% on China, 46% on Vietnam, 50% on all these other countries, and so forth and so on. They ran to the table, said, please, Mr. Trump, don't do this. Let's negotiate. He said, okay, we're going to put a 90-day pause on these tariffs, which end July 9th. But now they're all rushing to the table. But now the base percentage of all the countries is 10%. How do they know ahead of time? This is April. This is where the article was from April last year. Trump just put these 10% tariffs on a month ago. Does somebody have a crystal ball out there we don't know about?
Somebody knows something.
Go ahead, young lady. This is the leak. It's all here. See, and they're quoting inside Trump administration officials. Like I said, the Trump administration could also impose across the board tariffs on imports, making them more expensive for U.S. consumers. The former Trump officials said. They're quoting people from the inside of Trump's administration. Now, y'all want to hear about the RV again? It mentioned the currency revaluation of the RV in the beginning of the article. Then this is how the RV happens. It is through trade. Now, this next paragraph is going to say it again. Go ahead, young lady, and take your time. Take your time so they can hear every syllable.
But even, okay, is that what, okay. But even economists that supported currency revaluation stressed that those approaches have drawbacks.
Pause. I want you to. This is again fear that they want to put into the public. If anyone reads this back in April last year, they don't want them to buy no dang on invest in no currency because you're going to be wealthy if you did.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. Because it's saying, but even economists, see, they always give you these fake quotes from experts, but even the economists that support a currency revaluation stress that those approaches have drawbacks. Yeah, okay. Go ahead.
They sound like the guru. Oh, never mind. Okay. Even from the perspective of reducing the trade deficit, one of Lighthizer clear goals, reducing the trade deficit. Wow. Unless there's a multilateral grand bargain like the Plaza Accords, which even Lighthizer's allies acknowledge will be difficult, trading partners could negate efforts to weaken the dollar by cutting their own interest rates, imposing their own tariffs, or subsidizing their domestic producers, all of which could undermine the effect of U.S. policy shifts.
Again, this is April last year, stating that if Trump were to do this, it could weaken the dollar by cutting their own interest rates. And also these countries, they could impose their own tariffs on the United States and on our products. And that's all happening right now. And it ain't stopping nothing that Trump is doing.
Sure ain't.
Go ahead, young lady. Oh, here comes
One of
more
the
fear.
problems with many, huh?
Go ahead. Here comes the more of the fear that they try to put on people.
Yes. One of the problems with many of these solutions is that countries that are determined to implement mercantilist policies can get around the solutions very quickly, said Michael Pettis, a Beijing-based economist influential among economic advisors to both Trump and Biden. It's the countries that don't cheat that pay the cost.
But they all have been cheating.
You should have seen my face. Like, yeah, right, buddy.
Vietnam, 123 billion surplus, in the U.S., 123 billion deficit. That's cheating. That's not fair. But all these other countries have been doing the same thing to the United States. We're going to go back to that juicy paragraph one more time. And I'm going to share it into the room just in case, if for some of you that didn't see it, I'm going to share it where it talks about the RV. And I'm going to ask you, young lady, boom. We'll post this right back here in the room again, where it's highlighted, just in case someone missed it.
Yes.
If you can read that one more time.
Yes. Currency revaluation is likely to be a priority for some members of a potential second Trump administration, mainly because of the viewpoint that an overvalued dollar contributes to the trade deficit.
Boom. Mike N, if you can come to the mic.
Yes, sir.
If you can give us your summary, Sniper.
You know, Goldilocks has been spot on with everything that Goldilocks has been putting out, but this here blew me away. This has been a spot on play-by-play of what's playing out right now today.
Exactly. Regarding the trade, the tariffs, and the negotiations happening right now.
That is correct.
They just had to sprinkle a little doom and gloom over it to kind of blind those that cannot see, but those that can read in between the lines of what they were saying was going to happen, and we see it manifesting right now.
Exactly. Everything that this article said, I mean, it's in your face. It explicitly says currency revaluation. And how does it happen? Through trade. And how would Trump impose? How would Trump make the RV happen? Through tariffs, through trade negotiations. But it didn't have to be to the point where it was in mainstream media every day. They had to sneak it in this little article and put it out there so that when it happens, no one can never say that it wasn't put into the public domain for people to know about it.
Yep.
Folks, we're going to give you the opportunity. Raise your hand, especially some those that are in the tribe. Raise your hand. We're going to come to you. And for those who I would love to see some of those for sure that are active in the room. You know what's going on. For your comments on this article, what you just read, we're going to come to you.
I know Lady Unique.
Oh, yeah.
She's somewhere. I know she has something to say.
Oh, yeah. Yes, right. Lady Unique.
Yeah.
Now that now that you have seen it, your eyes have seen and ears have heard the receipts for yourself. What's your feedback on this leak of the RV, how the currency revaluation happens? What's your summary?
Let's put it like this here. Thanks for the leak. Okay. Because like we said, we've been schooled, educated, had a little background understanding what's going on and why we are where we are today and the importance of what we've learned from Goldilocks and from Wiley and from you breaking it down. And now this right here says it all. It just solidifies everything that you all have been
Mhm.
sharing with us and teaching us and preparing us for and getting that where we can have the language conversation with those that are going to that are be managing our business. So it's a furtherment. Look here. Oh yeah, put your caps and gown on because we getting ready to walk.
Mm.
I love it.
I know that's right.
I
As
love it.
I say, I mean I'm gonna repeat it all the time, and I'm gonna say it, and I'm gonna step back and let somebody else step in. Ain't no stopping us now. We on the move. Thank
Okay.
y'all. Thank
Quick
you.
question.
Thank
Quick
you.
question.
Yes.
Lady
Yes.
Unique, when you saw where it said, and I'm going to repeat it again, somebody might not heard it. It is in black and white in our face in the article.
Uh-huh.
Currency revalue. And this is a quote, folks, from Trump Insider. Quote, currency revaluation is likely to be a priority for some
Uh-huh.
members of a second Trump administration, mainly because of the viewpoint that an overvalued dollar contributes to the trade deficit. And then it talks about the tariffs and trade and how the currency revalue happens. What was your thoughts when you first saw that? She cracking up.
Receipt.
Receipt. Oh, no wonder why she laughing so hard. Right.
Receipt. No, I mean, educate like I've shared with you before on the private side. That's helping me understand what all this is about. We see one side. We've been here. We've seen this in the news, and we hear that and that. And I've been one of them, and I still have my own 2 cents, but that's okay. I'm gonna keep my 2 cents. But that right there, putting it in your face, currency reevaluate. I mean, how much more for those that don't know? Okay, so I'm not babbling, but for
Yes.
those that don't know, it's right there in black and white.
Mhm.
And you've been holding on and hearing this and hearing that and hearing that. It's right there. The words are there. Currency reevaluation. What else? What else?
From
If
the
you got
Trump
glasses on,
insiders.
take them off, clean it off.
And the how it shows. Hey, Ty, you can unmute. Ty, you can unmute. It shows you how. Ty, too pretty. You can unmute, and it explains the currency revaluation is what Trump would do when he comes back to office and how he would do it.
Mhm.
And it's being done right now through tariffs and trade. This is tariffs. For those that don't know, tariffs is trade. Trade is tariffs. Ty, too pretty. You want to jump in here with Lady Unique?
Oh yeah, I was kind of waiting for it all day just to see what you guys are gonna drop in the room. But yeah, it should really be the nail in the coffin, honestly. Like there's nothing else to say. It's nothing else to really talk about. There you go. It's right in your face. Just get prepared.
Exactly. And for those that, I'm glad you said that, Todd, because folks, and Lady Unique touched on this too, in a few seconds ago, is you've been hearing so many different stories about when Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, budget tables, Kurdistan, Reno, all it. Does this have anything to do with the RV? You just saw it in black and white directly from the sources. And the name of the person that's behind the scenes leading the charge. This is why I said that you may want to look within yourselves to know what you've been hearing. See, you've heard so many of our people shared with you how they're prepared with their actual bankers. Ty Too Pretty, this young man that you just heard from, he's 26 years old. has a baby girl. The wealth manager invited him to bring his daughter to their first meeting face to face. His wealth manager is a wealth manager for professional athletes. He's been golfing with his bankers, cut deals where they will exchange his currency for him, set up his accounts. He'll get higher rates. He's prepared. Mike in, prepared. Lady Unique, Peculiar Ram, and many others. They're set for the RV because they've been able to follow what Goldilocks, Wiley, myself share to prepare them. Why not you? Over 3,500 times in the last 5 years, Goldilocks has shown that through trade, the RV will happen. Over 300 times from tariffs, the RV will happen. Over 5 years. And here you have, directly from Trump insiders, how the RV will happen. Actually, I should say how it is. It's right in front of you in these tariff negotiations. And we have members right here that they have, when in meeting with their bankers, they've established relationships strong enough. Even the wealth managers discussing with them about the tariffs and the effects in order to prepare for the RV. Unfortunately, many of you aren't aware that possibility exists because for whatever reason. But we welcome you to join us. We have 8 steps we share, and we will walk you through it. All right. Anyone? I'm a little nervous. I don't know if I click on a name and what I'm going to hit.
Okay. It better be somebody familiar.
Yep. And it's not. So, folks, if there anyone else that would like to comment on what you just heard regarding straight in your face, the RV from the Trump officials and how it's in process right now. Grateful One, come to you, and then Spark Plug, I'll come to you. Grateful One, you can unmute, my good man.
I took my nap. It was worth it.
Good.
And I know you're not a man of many words, so I know. And so when you saw currency revaluation in black and white for Trump's administration and moving with make it happen with tariffs and trade, and you see what's happening right now with tariff and trades, what comes to mind? Grateful One.
Peace of mind.
Peace of mind. Beautiful. I love it. Thank you, beloved. Thank you so much. I know you're not a man of many words, so I'm not going to ask you for much more. Thank you so much. All right. Oh, you too. All right. Spark Plug, and then I'll come to you, Pistol's mom, our beautiful Pistol's mom, and then Pistol's mom. Then I'll come to you, Red. Go ahead, Spark Plug.
Hey, family. How y'all doing?
Good. How you doing, good man?
Hello.
Just got one thing to say to y'all. I believe that y'all got me all sweaty. I got to go get in the shower.
You so silly.
One thing to say, and I'm out. I've been to the mountaintop.
Man.
I've looked over and seen the other side. I've
seen the promised land.
Tonight, we the people, we already in it, walking in the RV land.
That's right.
I'm good. Peace. I love y'all.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on one second. Folks, people don't know. See, and what you saw here in black and white is exactly what your banker told you when you told your banker that your pawpaw gave you currency. What did your banker, folks, what you're about to hear Sparkplug tell you is exactly what was shared in this article about when the U.S. dollar goes down. Go ahead, and other currencies go up. Go ahead, share that, and then I'll let you go.
Yes, sir. I told him what you just said, but my papa gave me some foreign currency, and he said it might be worth something one day, and I don't know if that's all true. Have you heard anything? Does that sound familiar? And her words were exactly, of course. Every time you know that the dollar is devaluating, all the foreign currencies will revalue.
Boom. That was from his banker to him, folks. That's all I wanted you to share. Appreciate you, beloved.
Love y'all. Peace.
All right. Much love to you, man. Pistol's mom, and then Red will come to you. Pistol's mom. Go ahead, beautiful. Let me let you. Pistol's mom, you can unmute.
I think I'm here.
There you go. There you go.
Okay. Well, when you told us to write down on a piece of paper what you thought this article was going to be about, I wrote down trade and devaluation of the dollar.
What?
Oh,
See?
wow.
What? You knew.
I knew, and I have been telling people that I know, look, this is happening. This is what's taking place, and this is what has to happen before it revalues. And they're going, and I'm thinking, believe me or not, that's okay. But so if you have followed Trump for any length of time at all, he's been talking about tariffs since the 80s.
Just the 80s. Yep.
And so he's had this in his brain his whole life, basically. And he found the people to work with to put it together.
Absolutely.
And thank God he did.
And it's happening. That's right.
Thank God we took the opportunity of a lifetime.
And thank God you got set with your bankers and your wealth managers, and you're all prepared, and you continuously getting even better. So you're in a good place. You're in a good position. RV happens. You ready? Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, beloved. We appreciate you.
Okay. All right. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Red, come on to the mic. We're waiting for you, Red.
Man, that's exciting. The validation from that article, gives you the play-by-play is unrealistic to have it to be so simplified.
Yeah.
And then the fact that it goes hand in hand with everything that you've been Goldilocks and you all have been teaching us is just it's amazing to me.
Almost
and black
verbatim.
and white right there. Yeah, almost verbatim. Yeah.
Yes.
Was this what you expected about or I couldn't even finish.
No. This I'll tell you this. I will say this. I want to quote Goldilocks. The end of July will look different for all of us.
Yes.
But I'm excited.
Yes.
I'm excited. I'm just quoting. I'm not giving no prediction. I'm just saying I'm quoting what Goldilocks said based on this article. Man, that is exciting. That is exciting.
Yeah. Just continue to follow what Goldilocks puts out. And I'm telling you, in my conversations with Goldilocks every single day, there's even things that, and also with Wiley and Goldilocks, there's things that we won't say publicly, but everything that Goldilocks is sharing publicly. And this is why we're stressing for you folks to get prepared, structured with your bank, your wealth managers. You'll get those relationships. All right. Thank you, Ray. We appreciate you, my good man.
Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate it.
All right. Yes, indeed. Groovy King. You can unmute, my good man.
What's going on, man? It's been a while.
Man, I I knew Barry White was coming back. I knew he was coming back. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, doing real good. So I just the word that comes to mind, well, actually two words. It solidifies, what I've been following in this investment. Also alignment. I feel like, so I'm gonna pivot for a minute. So, I don't know if any of you all see your birthday numbers a lot, like from here and there. Like I check the time and all of a sudden it's randomly my birthday numbers are up on the, and me and my wife, we both acknowledge that, and it's kind of funny and weird. She texts me and it's like, it's your birthday, blah, blah, blah. It's randomly. So Well, I say alignment. I'm looking at, okay, what do we need for this to revalue, right? And regulations and things. What's going on right now as far as regulations? What's coming up next week with the
Is that a
Genius
question?
Act? The Genius
Oh,
Act,
okay.
correct?
Yeah, exactly. On Tuesday. Yes.
Hmm.
What day is that? It's my birthday. So,
What? Oh
yes,
man.
yes.
Wow.
So, and then, another pivot from that, right? That just
Hmm.
further solidifies it that I'm in
Hmm.
alignment.
Hmm.
So I was talking to, my wealth manager, the VP at this tier one, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And I'm playing coy and like I don't know what I'm,
Hmm.
what I'm doing with foreign currencies. I'm like, so I just threw in a question like, I received I got foreign currencies for my travels and I received some from my family,
Hmm.
gifted to me. So I know Trump is, currently in negotiations with some of these countries
Hmm.
that I hold currencies for. I keep
Hmm.
it very shallow, right?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
as I
Hmm.
build this relationship, he's like, he hits me back with an email and he's like, I won't be able to really help you any further with that part. He's stepping down from the VP to be a financial advisor. He's like, I'll help you. I can answer you more in July. He
Because
says
he's
July. And
he's
you've
switching.
been, yes, and Goldilocks has been saying July. Like not July, not Goldilocks has been saying July, but that's when Basel 3 and all that stuff goes live,
Correct.
the end game. So
The
I'm
end
looking
game.
at it I'm connecting the dots. I'm like,
Hmm.
why is he pivoting from VP to financial advisor and saying he could be
Hmm.
able to help me more in July? And that's
Hmm.
the same time frame as the Basel 3 supposed to be implemented. So I just find all that very just
Hmm.
very in line and
No
no
coincidence at all.
coincidence at all, not
Hmm.
at all.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's just my 2 cents, man. I'm
Beautiful,
like
man.
everything's connecting, so
Yep.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm
Absolutely.
good. I'm
Absolutely.
good. I
Yes,
appreciate
man.
you.
Yes,
Appreciate you,
sir. We
bro.
appreciate you, man. I see you lurking, in the background, so it's all
Yeah,
good, man.
I'm still
So
here.
I'm glad you are, furthering building that relationship with the wealth manager, man, because you're in a great position, and man, he's moving from VP to financial advisor. That's where he'll be able to have a more hands-on approach with helping you to, once you exchange, to be able to move your money and flip it and grow it, leaps and bounds. I love it.
Absolutely, man.
I
Keep it
love it.
up. Keep it up.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All
Yeah.
right. Thank you. Thank you. All right, beautiful folk. We are at 11 o'clock our time. Kill your ram. You good to go?
Yes.
Anything you want to share? Take us
Um,
home?
I, I am good to go because if I start talking about this, I'm not going to stop. I hope you guys are not still sitting on the fence. I hope this
Mm,
solidified whatever reservations you may have had about what you hold, and know that this is for real. It's been in the works. It's been planned. This is orchestrated. Nothing can stop it.
mhm,
And I hope you put your one foot in front of the other and go ahead and get these relationships established because this
mhm.
was exciting.
Beautiful. Thank you, beloved. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. I hope that this has shed some light on each and every one of you, folks. The clock is ticking. Now, you've been given. God has given you a second chance to get this right. The ball's in your court. Everyone have a good night. We love you. Appreciate you. Everyone be well. Ciao, ciao.
Happy Father's Day, tribe.
Oh, yes. Thank you for sharing that. Happy Father's Day, all the amazing fathers. Take care. Bye bye.
Hello, beautiful people. This is Freedom Fighter. Thank you for tuning into our channel, Goldilocks Global Banking News. Everybody knows that Goldilocks is the number one source for the RVGCR. People from around the world tune in to see what Goldilocks is sharing on the RVGCR. Don't miss your chance and get your latest updates every day. So like, share, and subscribe to this channel to get your daily podcast from the Goldilocks articles on the RVGCR. Brought to you by Freedom Fighter.